It's not the greatest piece of pork belly ever, that's for sure. As you can see when you look at down the edge here. So this camera above me will probably show you better. But a good piece of pork belly would have layers of meat and fat and meat, etc., and it would be thicker than this. So a really good piece of pork belly would be about that. I did get this from the butcher. It is quite an expensive piece of meat. So I'm cooking this for my daughter and her family. Okay, they are not whole food plant-based, and a friend has asked me to record a video on how I do my pork, and my pork crackling, of course, which is the most important part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into sections. Need a sharp knife for this. And we will cut this in half again. Now what I do with these is I season it for 24 hours, but before I do that, we need to perforate this skin. We need to make this skin perfect. It needs to be as dry as we can make it. It needs to be perforated. Okay, I think pork belly is the nicest part of the animal. I used to eat meat. I haven't always been a whole food plant-based person, and so my mother taught me to cook, and the army. So my mother taught me how to cook properly, and the army taught me how to survive. I marinate. It's got to be marinated for 24 hours, not 10 hours, not 12 hours, not 18 hours, 24 hours. This meat must be marinated for. You can add whatever spices you wish to your food. Okay, but I'm going to use a little bit of brown sugar. About 2 parts brown sugar to 1 part salt, and not table salt. And I'm using Himalayan salt, rock salt. 1/3 of this mix will be salt, and 2/3 will be sugar. Okay, and this is you would use this if you were making bacon. Now, this is ideal for making bacon. Do not get this on the skin, whatever you do. If this gets onto the skin, you will not get that crackling the way you want it. You will wind up with burnt skin long before it crackles. I'm going to start off with these guys here, and that's going to take quite a lot of paper. Quite a lot of paper. Let's get my salt out of the way. I'm going to make boats for these. Aluminium boats that they will sit in while they are cooking. We get as much moisture out as possible. Now, the brown sugar, it keeps moisture in, so you want to coat the meat with brown sugar, and you want to coat the skin with salt only. But we want brown sugar and salt on the meat. We do not want it on the skin, so we have to make sure that we keep that separate. What you want to do is you want to perforate the skin, because this causes it to bubble, and that's how you get that puffiness when you get your crackling. It doesn't just go hard, it puffs up. That's because it's got little air pockets through it. They're all into hunting and meats and all that sort of thing, and whilst I would prefer that they ate the way that I do, maybe one day they will, but for now, this is it. And so that's why I'm preparing this for them. So you'll hear me often say I'm not vegan. I'm not. I'm whole food plant-based. So I can make these boats, make some lovely boats. Now I'm going to cut these about a 1/2 inch apart, and just through the skin, as you can see, no more than a 1/4 inch deep. Okay, and this is going to shrink, don't forget, but this also gives us where we can cut it through once we are done. So just make sure that we get all the way through there. That's it. We do not want to cut through to the meat though, So we've got to be very, very careful in how we do this. And a sharp knife is very important. So that is a lovely piece. Okay. Get that to meat. This is going to marinate in the fridge. Get as much of this onto your meat as you can possibly get on. If you need to mix up more, feel free to do so, but just make sure that your meat is liberally covered. Try and get it on the sides, but don't get it onto the skin. So you'll find that I will wash and clean myself frequently because I don't want to get any of this on the skin because I'm handling the meat all the time. What we're going to do is we're going to put some Himalayan salt on there. I'm going to fold this up. This is going to be my boat. Don't have any tears in it if you can help it. Okay. And so this is what we have. And I'm going to try and push this onto a baking tray and put that into the fridge, and then I will take it out of the fridge and put it straight into the oven tomorrow, just like that. So let's get some Himalayan salt on the top, on the skin. I'm just going to leave this for a few minutes. As we prepare the next piece. So my Himalayan salt. Before I put it in the fridge, I'm going to wipe this salt off and damp it down. You can see the moisture coming to the surface. I'll put it up here where you can see it. So you can see the moisture coming to the surface now. So I'm going to leave this for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to brush off this as much of the salt as I can and get rid of as much moisture as I possibly can and put that into the fridge, and it's going to stay there for 24 hours. Pork belly, been in the fridge overnight. I've just taken it out. You can see that the skin is fairly dry. I'm just going to get a paper towel and dab over it just to be on the safe side, make sure that there's nothing through. Now you can see that there is some liquid in the bottom of these, and you can see that it's actually leaked out onto the tray below, which is fine. I'm going to put these in now for 3 hours at 120 degrees centigrade. As I said, I can't remember what that is in Fahrenheit. So preheat the oven, and then in she goes for 3 hours. 120 degrees. We're baking it on fan bake, and we're doing, my timer only goes up to 2 hours, so in an hour I'll come and check on it. I'll do a little bit more recording where we're at that point. Here we are at the 1 hour mark, and as you can see there's moisture on top of all of that, but it's all puffed up quite nicely. The meat, that is. I'm not talking about the skin. Now what I have to do once this is cooked, you can see how uneven that is. I need to get that level, that skin as level as I can get it. So I'm going to have to pack up the center of some of those, of 2 of those, and the end of 1 of them, and I'll use some aluminium foil to do that, just to make them level so that they all cook at an even distance from the grill so that they will cook evenly, because that's what we're going to do next. Is once this is cooked, we take it down to the lowest rung and we put the grill on and we grill it for between 10 and 20 minutes. Okay, here we are at the 2-hour mark, and as you can see, everything is coming along quite nicely. And adjust them a little bit. Get our grill ready. 250 degrees on the grill. Paper towel. Take all the moisture, as much of it as you possibly can, off the skin. So that's more or less level. Actually, 20 minutes. 20 minutes max, but we'll keep our eye on it because we don't want it to burn. Now we take it out and we'll let it cool for 15 to 20 minutes. Put that there. And that pork crackling is looking really, really good. Here.